Sit back and get comfortable. I have a few stories to share with you.
When I told my parents I was pregnant, of course, their first question was, "Who is the father?" Truthfully, I don't know. I remembered snippets of the night. A man with a long beard and heavy metal tattoos. And I've been on every flavor of narcotic at the time, and I couldn't remember much else. So they shipped me off to my aunt's house to birth my shameful love child in secret. It was a quaint lakeside cottage with picket fence and neatly lined purple flowers. My own personal hell. Aunt Rue was a kind old lady who baked date squares and brewed chamomile. She made me feel welcome in her home, but she also liked to invite her bridge friends over to ogle me. They asked about my diet and recommended herbal concoctions to aid with my pregnancy pains. They stared relentlessly at my bulging stomach, almost hungrily, always waiting to feel the baby kick or gather in a silent prayer circle around me. "He's going to be a very special boy," Aunt Rue declared, somehow having determined its gender. It skeeved me out, but I endured it, even when Aunt Rue suggested I forgo a hospital birth and instead entrust her friends to deliver the baby. Little chance of that happening, but I smiled and nodded away. As the pregnancy progressed, I began to suffer strange blackout spells. I would be lying on the couch, then awaken in my bedroom upstairs, with no memory of the in-between. Aunt Rue suggested my growing uterus was putting pressure on blood vessels in my brain, causing the blackouts. Google confirmed her diagnosis. But I also began having nightmares, vivid, terrifying nightmares, remixing elements of my daily tedium. Aunt Rue, her bridge friends, even my mysterious baby daddy were gathered around me, chanting, as I laid naked on some sort of altar, surrounded by melting candles, leather-bound books, and the severed hoofs and heads of black-bearded goats. Everyone I spoke to, my parents, girlfriends back home, doctors, all asked the same question: who is the father? But Aunt Rue and her friends hadn't asked once, almost as if they already knew. I recalled the image I had retained of the father, covered in tattooed pentagrams. So I left, withdrew some cash, and drove aimlessly for several hours, until I found a nondescript motel to check into. I figured I'd lay low until the baby was born, then apologize by phone to Aunt Rue. For once, I slept fine. But when I awoke the next morning, I found a note had been laid on the pillow beside me, with a simple message scribbled in Aunt Rue's handwriting. "When we want him," the note said, "we will take him."